Of the first secondary stage. This is Mrs. Sahar Fouad, and I have the pleasure to start with you a quick revision about English. Dear students, as long as we are in the summer and we all like spending some time for holidays, I chose tourism topic to speak to you about. Do you know ecotourism? Have you heard this expression before? I know that some of you, or maybe most of you, have heard of them. Well, what exactly is ecotourism? It is to provide holidays to places which are endangered and isolated without harming them. Those tourism holidays are designed not to harm the environment. Okay? Now, if you want to have some examples of the ecotourism, let's start with Egypt. In Egypt, ecotourism is around the Red Sea, which can be diving without harming the fish. Don't forget that. Well, in another place, like Madagascar. You know Madagascar? It's an island near Africa. Madagascar is famous for its rare animals and plants, found nowhere else. In Ecuador. Do you know Ecuador? It's in Latin America. Some islands in Ecuador are famous for the unique animals, like giant turtles. The government only allows few limited number of visitors to visit those islands. And finally, in Indonesia, a certain national park in Indonesia where you can find Komodo dragons. Can you imagine that? Well, that was all. Now you are free to choose which place you would like to visit. But don't forget, you must conserve and protect the environment. This was the speaking part. Now let's speak about the grammar. I would like to remind you of the grammar. We have two French tenses. Do you remember them, my dear students? The past tense. Past tense, as you know, is branched into two branches so far for now. The past simple and the past continuous. Let me remind you, be with me. Past simple. Of course, we use the past simple to speak about finished, completed actions in the past. For example, you can say, I traveled to the Red Sea last summer. I traveled. Don't forget the ed for the regular verbs. And the irregular verbs take different forms, as you know. I'm just only reminding you, my dear students. Now the past continuous. Use past continuous to show that an action was in progress at a certain time in the past. For example, at 8 o'clock yesterday, I was looking at the orangutan. Orangutan is an animal in the zoo. I was looking at the orangutan. I was playing with the orangutan. I was playing with the animals there in the zoo. I was enjoying myself. Okay? Now, there is a question. Start to remember with me, my dear students. There is a question. Can we link between the two verbs? Sorry, the two tenses. Can we link between the past simple and the past continuous? Definitely yes, we can. To show that the shorter action happened during another longer one. A shorter action happened during another long one. For example, I was leaning at the balcony when I dropped my camera. I was leaning. Here is the continuous action in the past. I was leaning at the balcony when I dropped my camera. Do you understand how it goes? Well, okay. Don't forget the keywords for the past continuous. The linking words like while, as, just as, when, and during. And listen to those examples to know the difference in usage between them. While I was having lunch, she knocked on the door. You can say while I was having lunch, or you can say while having lunch, she knocked on the door. Okay, you can ask me, can we use during? Yes, definitely we can use during. But during is followed by a noun. How is that? The same example is with you. During lunch, she knocked at the door. During lunch, not during I was having lunch, not. Okay. We can use past continuous to express two parallel actions in the past, don't forget that, if they were happening at the same time. Listen to this example. We were tidying our room while our little brother was watching TV. Note, and this is the last note. Some verbs are not used in the continuous form. We call them the stative verbs. Remember that word? The stative verbs. Like what? Love, like, want, and know. Do you understand? Not are you understanding, my dear students? Do you understand? Thank you and goodbye.